My bad, yo. My Wi-Fi crashed. Ricardo, salute. Yeah, man. My bad, fellas, man. My Wi-Fi crashed for some reason on my tablet, man. So I just grabbed my phone and shit. Yeah, man. My fuck Wi-Fi crashed on my tablet and shit while I was out here. It seemed like my tablet don't get as good Wi-Fi reception as my phone doing shit like that. So yeah, man. I'm back at it. I'm back at it, fellas. Yeah, my bad. So what I was saying was, yeah, man. That's why for me it makes a lot of sense if Virgil and Boots were to see each other right now, based off of what they just done, based off of the two individuals they just seen, and what I've seen out of both individuals would tell me that I would like to see both of them contend with one another, and then go see one of the champions, because we already know it's going to be prolonged activity there anyway, with Errol Spence going to see Errol Spence going to fight Ugas, and we know Bud Crawford's about to make a huge announcement, which I'm assuming, I don't want to say too much on it, I don't want to put too much gas for people to believe that that's going to be the case, but I'm assuming the big announcement could possibly be Manny Pacquiao, because I haven't heard anything about Manny Pacquiao mention Mikey Garcia too much as of late, and it seems like from what I heard, Mikey Garcia said, we're coming back with or without Manny Pacquiao, so that would lead me to be that could possibly be a potential option for Terrence Crawford, man. We know the clock is ticking on Manny Pacquiao, and I think it might be a reevaluation of if I'm going to end this shit, how do I want to end it? Because regardless, whether it's a win or a loss against Terrence Crawford, man, you went out going against a top fucking dog, man, and it'll be a fucking fires fight, a hell of a smoker, and considering the IQ Manny Pacquiao has, I would like to see how Bud Crawford would deal with Manny Pacquiao's like hoppy, fucking in and out, twitchy, awkward jabs coming at a bunch of different angles, how he stays on his feet, pops that joint out there, keeps moving. Manny Pacquiao works like this, never stops, just keep working, man. I still see, without a doubt, Ricardo, Manny Pacquiao, he smashes him, dog. He smashes him. No question. Mikey wouldn't be ready for a Manny Pacquiao, especially with the type of experience Manny Pacquiao showed against Keith Thurman, and I feel like Keith Thurman is more of a talented fighter, a more proven fighter at 147, of course, than Mikey Garcia. And I feel like even though Mikey Garcia might have handled Jesse Vargas, I look at it in the way Mikey Garcia handled Jesse Vargas, and I'm just like, realistically, dog, I just think that's easy work for Manny Pacquiao. And Mikey Garcia is the king of the basics, and that shit finds you in good fucking places in boxing matches. But just for a guy like a Manny Pacquiao, bro, I'm just like, yo, basics isn't one of the things you need to beat Manny Pacquiao. You need a whole bunch of, you gotta dig in other places too. I wouldn't be surprised if Manny whooped Mikey Spence but bro, like Manny like we could never look at Manny Pacquiao like he's not in a position to beat any of those guys at 147. Like realistically, after what I saw against DSG and what I saw against Mikey Garcia, I wanted Manny Pacquiao to take that fight instantly, because Errol Spence showed me that I'm like, okay, you can touch him. And with Manny Pacquiao's activity, I wouldn't, I would not sell Manny Pacquiao short on this fucking activity in his win tank. I would put him and Sean Porter, as far as their activity in the ring, I would put that shit right here, neck and neck, even at the fucking age that Manny Pacquiao was at. And I would say, take that type of activity, take that type of skill set, remove Sean Porter from that situation, and put Manny Pacquiao in that situation. And you ask yourself, what is the outcome? For real. And that's the thing, man. Like with Manny Pacquiao, you got to know how to get in there, bro. And there's never really a time to where you can get in there. It's kind of like you have to have perfect timing with Manny, because every shot it's not coming from the direction of where you can calculate. You don't know when you're going to really have to get in there. It's really with Manny Pacquiao, you're going to go through significant errors of trial and error just due to the fact with Manny Pacquiao's work rate. Man, he's a special kind of guy, man. He is, man. Spence does have a good job, but the thing about it though, man, I would like to see Spence use it more. Like Mikey Garcia, I'm like, okay, you jab Mikey Garcia, fucking cool, man. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like, you know, if he would have been doubling up and getting more behind the hooks and stuff like that, he could have made that Sean Porter fight a lot easier. I felt like he could have made that Sean Porter fight a lot easier, but he couldn't make that Sean Porter fight a lot easier because Sean Porter used the things that I felt as though Spence should have used to make it less of a hell on himself. Like, Sean was the one pivoting. Spence should have been pivoting him and in the rotation following through with the uppercut. Sean was pivoting, climbing the ladder, coming over the top. Spence hit that dude with so many freaking low blows, I swear to God. There's no chance that he could have fucking kids after this. Spence beat that boy nuts sterile, man. And they didn't deduct a point from him. They didn't deduct a point. I felt disrespected due to that, because my whole thing is like, okay, if you go out there and you beat a guy, you beat him, cool. But if you go out there and you're straight up getting over, you got every bit of an average of 500 freaking low blows, and you weren't docked not one point, you weren't questioned not one time, that takes away from the experience of the fight that I'm watching, because I'm like, I'm only watching a referee favor it one way. They coming down on Sean, but Spence is getting away with murder over here. I just don't get it. See, Porter's the type of dude where if you're not a composed and experienced fighter, if you're not a composed and experienced fighter mentally, you're never going to beat him. Because he is going to piss you off second by second with his activity. You're gonna be trying to find space. You're gonna try to find room to get him up off of you so you can bang him with the timing, but he's always right here. It's hard to get, like, he's a type of fighter to where he's gonna thoroughly piss you off. So you've got to have freaking elite level composure if you want to deal with a Sean Porter. That's why I feel like Sean Porter really, for me, is the truest gatekeeper at 147, because I'm like, if you can get through the nuisance, which is Sean Porter, then you could definitely be ready for whatever's out there. But it's in the way you get through it, though. It's not like, okay, well, you beat him, it came down to a decision. No, you have to sensationalize that victory in a way to where I can take from what you've done and say, okay, well, it makes sense for him to go in this direction. If it doesn't come out like that, then it's just like, okay, well, you know, if you dealt with Sean in that manner, those guys are gonna fucking hurt you, because, you know, they're gonna pick you apart. Yeah, your timing gotta be good against Manny, like Marquez and Floyd did. Facts. Porter will give Manny a hell of a fight, better than Spence or Bud. People sleep on Porter. And you know, see, that's the thing, right? I've never slept on Porter. It's just that for me, I've never given Sean Porter more than what Sean Porter has given me, you know, and it's just like, yo, you just scraped the ceiling of elite. You know what I mean? Two-time champion, you know, but you've just scraped the ceiling of elite competition, because every time I've seen you go through certain things with certain fighters, it's like Kell Brook gave you hell. Danny Swift Garcia, that fight could have went either way. Either way. You know, so when I look at shit like that, I'm just like, man, it's just like, yo, you fool for Errol Spence is a completely different style than a Terrence Crawford, but I'm just like, yo, for Terrence Crawford, I felt like I saw that same thing. It would be watching Felix Diaz versus Terrence Crawford all over again. Exactly the same style. And if nobody knows what I'm talking about, go watch Felix Diaz versus Sean Porter and you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Judging by Danny Garcia, Spence is just another welterweight who can win or lose. Absolutely. And judging by Danny Garcia, if we know anything about Danny Garcia, one of Danny Garcia's biggest deficiencies is his speed. So he's had to be hella proficient with his timing. But if Danny Garcia can touch you up at will, what do you think Terrence Crawford is going to do when he is the king of speed and deceptive timing? Just think you there to be hit, man. And I think, you know, like when people get hit by, see, people go in this ring with Terrence Crawford and they just think that Terrence Crawford don't have no real knockout snap. And then when that nigga touch you, you know, your eyes get like this, like you just sniffed an 8-ball of cocaine. Like it's like, yo, yeah, this dude has very, very deceptive power, man. I think when Terrence Crawford touches people, them motherfuckers realize like, oh shit is different. It's just different. And I think that, you know, Terrence Crawford would show him how different it really is. Danny ate that jab all night. His being head skull got smashed. Mixed Nuts Promotions. I can see Spence getting out of character once T-Buzz starts touching him and Will. Yeah, man. I think that, Errol Spence has such a high thought process of his skill and everything like that. I just don't think that. I think when another fighter can get to Errol Spence and necessarily emasculate him, in the ring, I think that, you'll really see him come apart. Because if Sean Porter can have him to where he don't want to raise a hand after the fight, where you truly felt like you lost and you was beat the shit in that fight, man, listen, man. Bud Crawford is a totally different type of sandwich, dog. You got bologna, then you got boar's head. We know who's the boar's head, and we know who's my bologna has the first name. It's SHAWN. Yeah, man. And the crazy thing about it, when Porter says, when people say Porter will fight anyone, I say, well, man, why the fuck did Sean Porter run, to the media as soon as he got sent the base contract for, fighting Terrence Crawford, if that's supposed to be his legacy fight? You ran to the media talking about you was disrespected. You didn't send back for a second offer or anything. They increased the offer, and all I heard was fucking crickets. So if Sean Porter is willing to fight everybody, I think Sean Porter is willing to fight everybody if it depends on what type of career position Sean Porter is in. Because he didn't rush to fight Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? He got backed into a corner and he had to take that fucking fight. And now when it's come to, he's having less options available on the table, now it's coming down to, oh, you got to pay me an astronomical amount of money for me to get in the ring with Bud Crawford. I'm not going to be disrespected. My financial level is this and this. So when that type of talk starts coming out of Sean Porter, that gives me a head scratch, because I'm like, yo, all of the things that I thought of Sean Porter, you're really switching that shit for me right now. Because if you can take $2.2 million for Errol fucking Spence, but you think Errol Spence is this and this and this, why the fuck does Terrence Crawford all of a sudden gotta pay you the moon? You know what I mean? Like, so that's what make me question people, man. It's just their actions, dog. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I like Sean all day, but it's just like, dog, like, I'm questioning your actions right now too, fam, because you're not giving me much to work with other than, cap. You trade 1.2 to 1.5 for Sebastian Formelli. Your highest payday was 2.2 million. Them niggas matched that shit and crickets. Two hands. I wanted Josecito Lopez to fight Bud out here. And I would have cheered for Josecito, but I got Bud winning the fight. Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's only natural to, to cheer for your guy, countryman, or whatever the case may be. But look at what Josecito Lopez is doing right now. Josecito, you see how the PBC is like putting everything they got behind Josecito Lopez right now? That just shows that the PBC isn't working with very much, man. It's a fucking very slippery fucking slope for the fucking PBC right now, man. And like real spill, they're not, if you're a fan of Premier Boxing Champions and what Premier Boxing Champions has to offer right now, you're not going to be a fan of them after too much longer. And I'm going to tell you why. How many fight days is PBC giving us? The whole schedule they had from the summer until the winter of going into this year kind of fell apart. And then I'm looking at their fighters and their activity. These dudes, even last year, were only fighting probably like one time a year for real. Like, so I'm looking at all that. I'm like, what the hell happened to Jared Hurd? We know what Gardner Gary. It's like, what's going on with all of these dudes? These dudes don't even realistically have dates for real. And I guarantee if you a fighter over at the PBC like David Benavidez and a lot of these other guys, you're really questioning if the PBC is where you truly want to be right now. Because the PBC don't have shit together for their fighters. The only people that are constantly producing, and I mean, shout out to the Zone for the consistent 50-50 matchups time and time again this year. But it's like, man, the PBC don't have much to offer their fucking fighters. And you could see through what they're doing with Andy Ruiz versus the Outer Nipple for $49.99 a pay-per-view, they're basically telling us that we can't afford to pay this shit. So we're putting it all on you, but hold on, we love you guys enough that we're gonna slice it in half. Pay for it, please, so we can pay these fighters. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. That's exactly what they want to do. They trying to put it on the people because they not trying to pad out their pockets because they taking a whole lot of these L's. Just look at the way Bud is built. Like a short Tommy Hearns. Those bony dudes can crack. Man, that nigga crack like a... Man, look, man. That nigga Bud Crawford, man, that nigga hit you, man. He start making you reevaluate what state you in. Like, realistically, that nigga hit you on the chin, nigga, you like... Nigga, where the fuck am I? Texas? The Lone Star State? How the fuck did my jaw land me here? Like, oh, my... No, you still in the ring, dog. Bud Crawford just knocked you the fuck out. I've seen 2 good cards, and it's 5 months in PBC. That's what I'm talking about, Ronald. It's like, yo... Any person that uses hypothetically speaking, any person that uses any rational sense here, you could see that they don't have the ability to pay their fighters. Fox isn't willing to put up the money that they were putting up in 2020. We could see the way Fox was starting to take advantage, starting to take control of some of the things that were going on in the PBC. And you can tell Fox isn't willing to take no more L's no more. They're not willing to take any more L's, so you know who's going to have to take an L for a supposed fighter to win, or you to experience that fight on that evening. It is going to have to be the fans, and that is something that I can't get with. It would be something that I could get with if you gave us something tangible to hold on to that we could really talk about on Reaper Gang Radio on a Monday or something, as something that didn't leave the mind of the fans. But when you're giving us a bunch of shit and then you throw us out there even more shit as a main event card and you're expecting us to pay for it, I have a problem with that. Because you haven't given us anything tangible for us to hold on to be like, you know what, we should support you. All you've done is tell us for the past 2 years reasons why this person shouldn't fight, reasons why these fights aren't happening. So we've been having to sensationalize and look at all of the great matches around you. We've had to completely go around you and had the zone have to, and Top Rank had to overshadow you. And that's supposed to be your peers. But you're not willing to play ball, but everybody else is. So Showtime is having to separate from some of the business dealings they have with some of your fighters and stuff like that. And they're trying to pick out of the litter what seems to be the more sound investment. You guys have done nothing but catch L's, and you're not willing to play ball. Now you expect us to foot the bill for the nonsense that you throw out there to us. And you're showing us by what you're putting out that you don't give 2 fucks about the fans, right or wrong. Blood fell out the bars out here, and we all know Josecito Lopez is from Riverside. Everyone thought that Lopez beat Thurman. People were mad as fuck. Man, you know, look, man, and the crazy thing is you would almost have to expect, you know, Josecito Lopez getting out on Keith Thurman, that, you know what I mean, that the people was going to rob him. And I told people before that fight happened, too. I said, yo, don't get it twisted. I said, Josecito Lopez is gonna give him more problems than what people tend to believe. As a fact. Because the PBC on Fox is doing some of the best ratings. Need battle matchups, and they shouldn't have canceled inside PBC. Inside the PBC is one of the things they had going best for them. But at the same time, you could see that, like, yo, they're cutting costs. They're cutting costs at every corner they possibly can, because it's just like, yo, think about all of the fights that they've put on. If, and only if, the numbers as what they said they were, y'all. If the numbers were what the PBCs truly said they were, and as much as they tried to go out of their way to inflate them, but nobody believed us. If they were truly what they said they were, do y'all honestly believe that these fighters wouldn't have the dates that the zone have right now? These fighters would have those dates. We would have that scheduling. We would have a better understanding of what's going on at the PBC. But because those fights aren't selling, they're consistently in the red. They really don't have the stable to do big numbers during the pandemic. They basically gave us everything they could give us on the front end, hoping that, look, this is what it was. They was hoping that the Charlo situation, they was hoping that the Tank Davis situation in the fall, all of that stuff was supposed to work out and bring in the BS, you know what I'm saying, all the BS that they was going through that year and before. But it didn't. It didn't. The only people who made out in that Deontay Wilder situation was Top Rank. Because I got to consistently look at how many shows you put on and how many shows that fail. And then you like, yo, they're cutting costs. That's the only way I can see it, bro. They cutting mad costs. Boxing God, salute family, 504 to the 301, what it do? Peace, two hands, Fah Fah. Smoking one before we open the restaurant. Okay. That's what it do, man. Shoot, what restaurant you at down that joint, man? I might have to slide, bruh. I'm actually headed south next month. I'm going down to Florida and shit, man. Shit, I'll pull up, man. The PBC said free TV, but they've been giving us whack fights for $70. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Take everything that the PBC said in 2020 and hold them accountable. That y'all want to know what some real fucked up shit though? Remember when I did that PBC milk carton crew and all of the falls that the so-called PBC best fighters was taking in 2020 or whatever in 2019? Bro, do you know that motherfuckers deleted that shit off of my channel 2 or 3 times and it was just exposing the truth? And the thing about it is, it didn't even have PBC material attached to it. Hate speech is what I believe it said it was. Hate speech. And I got a warning that I would get a strike. And then I got another warning for a strike like 3 days ago for the Adolf Ziggler video. Talking about, oh, if this happens again, we're going to kill your channel for a week. Guess what? If you kill my shit, it's just coming back. I don't give a fuck about subscribers. I mean, I give a fuck about my subscribers, but I don't give a fuck about losing it, my momentum, and none of that shit, because I'm just going to get it right back. You can't stop what's real, dog. You can't stop who the people fuck with. That's period. So if the people chose me, motherfucker, y'all gonna, I'm just coming right back. Hey, bro, it's me again. Salute, JD. But not even a pay-per-view star. It seemed like you just it seemed like you got bud, like you got big bud in your mouth right now. Like you got big bud in your mouth right now, dog. It seemed like you got a lot of animosity for Bud, but you can't critique none of the, you know what I'm saying, the deficiencies that Errol Spence had. And that's my problem with you motherfuckers. Because y'all niggas consistently talk about Bud Crawford and all of this stuff, but I don't never hear Errol Spence come out of y'all mouth not one time. Errol Spence is the shining light. He the golden child. He's the king of chiclet teeth, but he ain't never done nothing wrong in y'all niggas' mind. Never done nothing wrong. Errol Spence just the GOAT. Don't got one reason, can't give one valid reason why Errol Spence is the GOAT at 147, but you know what I mean? Y'all got all this disdain for Bud Crawford. And this dude ain't even done a quarter of the things that Bud Crawford has done his entire career. You the type of individual that would be completely dismissive of Bud Crawford pulling up on him wanting to fight, and this dude saying he got everything on his mind but Bud Crawford. And when Bud asked him, you told me to get a belt, now I got a belt, let's make it happen. You the type of dude to be dismissive of Errol Spence saying, why don't I take the easy route and fight Sean Porter? And he takes the easy route and fight Sean Porter. That's why I really can't get with y'all niggas and the weird shit y'all say, because y'all niggas don't be calling it real, man. Boxing God, salute, appreciate you, bro. He said, speak the truth, big dog. 504 in the building, smoking on this wedding cake strand. Hey, man, I got to go back across the bridge and get some more wedding cake. I ran out of that shit like last week. No Bud, LOL. That's why you're a hype job. See, you're saying Bud is a hype job, but Errol Spence hasn't cleared out one division. How many divisions has Errol Spence cleared out since Bud is a hype job? How many divisions? If Bud Crawford is a hype job, ting wang. How many divisions has Errol Spence cleared out? And at the swap meet, come to Melbourne, 2 hands. Oh, you already know. You already know. Hey, look, man. Like I said, man, when I hit the road, all niggas gotta do, I'm gonna get your number, Jedi, and shit. So yeah, I'll real rap pull up on you, smoke, bring big strands with me. Big strands. Big strands. Ain't niggas I really fuck with. I'll pop up in your city. I pop up in your city, cop it sweet, and chill over that joint, man, during the week, chill during the weekend, pop up, we can hit balls, watch fights and shit. We go live and say, yo, Deuce really popped up and he kicked it with the gang, man. Wherever you at. I don't give a fuck what neighborhood, what city, what state. I pull up in all of that shit. Any type of, you know what I mean, indifferences, I pull up in all of that shit. 2 hands ain't never scared. They're a very sensitive bunch, JD. It's a very sensitive bunch. See, this is the dumb shit. Like, this dude is trolling. This dude, Ting Wang, he don't really watch boxing, or he really watches boxing, and he's a completely different individual than he says he is, and he's just here just to troll. So, from now on, I'm not paying him any mind, because he's talking about Canelo versus Bud Crawford, let's go. It's just like, yo, like, I can't take people like that seriously. But it's entertaining, though. Keep it up. Good work. This nigga say Spence poor to get a pass. Yeah, you right, because you're giving it to him. You're giving it to him. You're giving him the pass. Oh, hey, bro, what you say? What you say, Ting Wang got that kung flu? He got that kung flu? My man got the kung flu. Ask Wang Chang if he knows how many Tang Wang is there. Ting Wang, y'all motherfuckers got me dying right now. I ain't smoked no tree today. Y'all know if I ain't smoked no tree, y'all niggas got me geeked up. I love y'all niggas, man. Y'all crazy. Ting Wing is an LDBC PBC guy. He follows hype jobs and lies. Laugh my fucking ass off. Yeah, man, I can see that's in his nature, man. His troll game is pretty fucking low level serious. That's some pretty oxymoron shit of me to say. You know what makes me like Top Rank so much? They have the footage to expose PBC with the Bud versus Spence confrontation, but won't do it. They just want to fight. That's a fact. That's a fact. They're still not willing to burn any type of bridges so they could get the outcome that their fighter truly deserves. To be an undisputed champion, or the opportunity to be an undisputed champion at 147. And my problem with boxing is when you have certain fighters roadblocking progression. You have to look at what Errol Spence is doing right now as a roadblock in progression. And you can't use him talking about fighting Jordanius Ugas as it not being a roadblock of progression. Because look, he never wanted anything to do with a unification unless Manny, if it was Bud Crawford, he didn't want nothing to do with a unification. When Manny Pacquiao we didn't know what was going on with Manny Pacquiao, and the WBA was trying to figure that out. Crickets. As soon as Jordanius Ugas got that belt, he said, all you needed was something that I wanted. Now it's on. So Bud Crawford didn't have something you wanted since July of 2018? I'll wait. But this is the guy they want to protect, JD. Fucking shoot me now. In the kneecap. And let me live in fucking excruciating fucking pain. Got acres and all that shit. You already know. We got them things down here too. You already know. I don't think I can swat the camera in there. Yeah, man, we got them things down here too. You already know. We got them things down here too. You already know. My shit wrap around. My shit wrap around. We got them 4-wheeler trails and all that out back too. Hey, man. It's fun down Deuce Hayes, man. Guns and all that, man. Gabe Lopez, what it do? Salute, fam. Tread lightly, Wang. Wang Tank, move around. But remember, slander can cost you your life. When I hear real shit, yeah, when you come up in this live stream, you got to understand you dealing with a lot of motherfuckers with backbone that don't take no shit. And niggas is fully understanding that, yo, Duce can deal with whatever come Duce way, but motherfuckers is like, yo, they chopping up the bullshit, fam. So when you come in here thinking this is one of them type of chat rooms, you can just come in and fire off all the goofy shit and you're not gonna get pulled up on it. Niggas is gonna be wedging the fuck out you in this jump, nigga, with the truth, nigga. Got you all the way by your Alf Whitey tighties, nigga, just ripping the shit out them Jones. Your Batman Jones, your Spider-Man Jones, your fucking crusty ass Sesame Street Whitey tighties. Niggas is grabbing all of them Jones and just ripping the fuck out your shit, pulling you up, nigga. What garbage is the PBC putting on now? The same folks putting Ruiz versus the outer nipple on pay-per-view. Absolutely. And I just went through extensively all of my frustrations when it comes to that, because once again, you know, Gabe, they're trying to make their cutting costs and they're trying to make the people pay for bullshit that should, you know, that any of these other promotional outfits would put on for free. Now I'm gonna say this. What about Andy Ruiz versus the outer nipple is any different from Andy Ruiz's daytime preview on Premier Boxing Champions the same time around, I believe, the end of 2019 to the beginning of 2020 when he fought Alexander Dimitriko on television for free during the daytime? What is any different in this situation that you're trying to charge us $50 for? There's nothing different about the matchup. Nothing. Alexander Dimitriko and Chris Arreola, negligible. It's nothing different. But you're trying to charge us $50 for it. And these are the things that Ring IQ was saying. These are the things that I was saying. Shout out to my homie Julia. Shout out to Boxing Beats and Rhymes. Shout out to Unrivaled. Shout out to Speaking Mind Sports Talk. Shout out to JD's Boxing. Go ahead and subscribe. Look, these are all of the things that we have been saying that this was going to happen in 2021. Really, we were saying this shit was going to happen in 2020. When they were saying that these fights were going to come on Saturday and they were going to planning on doing all of these pay-per-views. That's basically all of the fights that they put on for us for free. They were going to start charging us for it. Cut costs, make the people pay for it, put it out there in a way that they don't understand that, you know, we're pimping them. And hopefully, you know, we'll get the people to cover the cost. Taxation without representation. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Nah. Y'all think y'all got the people hoodwinked. Nobody watches national TV anymore. We watch everything else because we can't believe shit that y'all say. And it's kind of funny that y'all say we're not the credible ones, but everything that we hypothetically sound off on are all of the things that are happening right now. So I ask people, how much of an Uncle Tom, how much of a coon, or how much of a fake boxing channel am I really? Same here, real guns, woods, and food. Hey, man, you already know. We're going to turn it up, man. Like I said, man, I'm thinking about copping. I'm waiting for some of my shit to come back graded now, man. I'm about to throw a couple of this shit up on auction, man. Like, I'm about to get a Corvette Stingray next year, man. But before then, man, I'm thinking about buying a new sedan and just going, man, city to city, because I'll never fly on another plane again, man. I'm going to be grounded to the States, man. So I'm just going to make my rounds and see all of the people that I fuck with on this joint, man. We're going to chop that shit up, man. Watch some boxing, man. Because I'm not wasting another motherfucking summer being sat still when this whole corona shit stopped me from really going, man. I had so much big shit popping off for y'all, dog. Corona basically stopped all of my momentum, and I'm still upset about it because I had so much stuff going on. I've been trying to work within ways of finding it out, and there's no way unless you can hit the ground running. So I'm about to hit the ground running, man. Let's get that real talk out to people. EJ a duck, facts, man. The nigga been a duck. He been a duck. Call that nigga Errol Mallard Spence. Errol Mallard Spence. Errol Mallard Duck Spence. Ain't man down. The MD stands for Mallard Duck. It don't stand for man down. It's a mallard duck. This nigga said Shang Tsung need to chill. Your soul is mine. I would say this about FA. Him sticking with Top Rank will make him the beast Wilder could never be. Absolutely, because Top Rank isn't a firm believer in bringing fake people along and trying to make them legitimate. They're about taking fighters who have deficiencies, building them up, making them real, and putting them in there with real opposition. So if F.A. Ajagba plans on surviving on a stable such as Top Rank or a stable such as, or like a DAZN or something like that, you gotta be real. So if the dude's still willing to learn, man, more power to him. He's still with Ronnie, right? He's still with Ronnie Shields? Meanwhile, Wanna missed the fact that Spence Jr. had to fight a midget 2 weight classes lower than him. That man, so shut the fuck. And that's what I'm saying though. But Bud Crawford ain't done nothing at 147. But what I'm saying is, okay, for Mike Garcia, God is 2 divisions lower than him. What did he ever have to do at 147 to get a fight with Errol Spence? But Bud Crawford is the one that's illegitimate here. Bud Crawford is the one that's a duck here. Bud Crawford is the one that procrastinates. Or is it not your boy, Mallard Duck? No difference at all. They think it's going to sell because it's 2 Mexicans. They don't know that this isn't Pereira versus Morales. Facts. Facts. Man, look, man. I'm looking. You want to know the sad thing is, bro? I'm looking more forward to the Metamucil sponsored, Depends Man diaper adult diaper sponsored, Julio Cesar Chavez versus the beloved Hector Camacho Jr. more than I'm looking forward to the outer nipple versus Andy Ruiz. Like, come on, man. Like, this shit is a complete joke, man. Like, come on, dude. I literally watched a video. I believe it was Fight Hype. Correct me if I'm wrong if it wasn't. I literally watched a video this morning of Canelo Alvarez taking what he learned from the ass whooping from Floyd Mayweather, teaching Andy Ruiz a fucking shoulder roll. That shit is a joke. It's some things I just cannot take serious. And I believe I put that on Twitter too. I think I even said something like, yo, it's some shit I just can't take serious. And Canelo Alvarez teaching Andy Ruiz a shoulder roll. Get the fuck out of here, man. And once again, that ain't no Barrera versus you. That ain't no Marco Barrera versus no El Toribio. It ain't none of that shit. So why the fuck do you think that you gonna try to shovel us some shit like that and then think we gonna appreciate it? You got to. They're taking us for fools. DAZN is showing us otherwise. Top Rank is treating us as otherwise. If they would have, look, everybody points fingers at so-called Whitey. This false perception. Oh, it's all Whitey did it. Whitey did it. Who the fuck is Whitey? No, it's you, stupid. The PBC did it. If the PBC was more willing to play ball, do y'all think we wouldn't have? Y'all, could you honestly say the momentum would shift? We would have a lot more happier boxing fans, would have a lot more filled up seats, we'd have a lot more people appreciating what's going on in the world of boxing. They holding up everything. And niggas accept that shit. Like, yo. You chose to fight Chris Arreola over Dillian White. How much, like, yo, I really want to see how much you're going to get paid for fighting the outer nipple. I really want to know. And if anybody who is rooting for this stuff, you need to slap yourself, because Chris Arreola does not need to be fighting anymore. He doesn't, yo. If they cared about Chris Arreola the way they should care about him, you would give him a punditry spot. You would let him be a pundit on Fox or something like that. Let him call some fights or something. Get him groomed in on something other than a boxing match with a young, fast-handed Andy Ruiz, bruh. This is going to be what Adam Katnowski should have done to Chris Arreola. Shit ain't cool, man. These motherfuckers do not care how they treat us, man. You deal cards. I got a fucking mint sports card. I got a mint and sports card. Yeah, bro. I probably got one of the biggest. I probably got one of the biggest and best card collections in the East Coast. Probably in like the whole, from 1980 all the way up to 2000. I probably got the best collection that ain't in a museum. My card collection is probably, you know what I'm saying, and I'm probably undervaluing it. 2.5 million plus. That's why I'm about to cash out some of them now. You know, I've been collecting them all of these years and putting all of this work. I'm using some of them to open up my sports memorabilia and sneaker boutique on my other piece of bar property over there, and I'm using a little bit of it to buy Stingray. Now, FA with K Karoma now? Don't think I swear. Nah, you got it right. You got it right. FA with K Karoma now. I don't think I spelled his name right, but he helped a lot of you. Yeah, FA K Karoma is always on the Olympic standout team. He's worked with, you know, your Shakur Stevens, guys like that. You know, I believe who else? I think it might have been what? I think he even worked with Chris Colbert too. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's who Jared Hurd's with right now. He's with K Karoma or whatever. But man, if that might be actually good for FA because FA isn't defensively sound at all, and he's gonna make his basics really strong or whatever, and he might even give him another element to his footwork. That's a fight I'm definitely interested in going back and watching now, since he with K, you know, because K's a different kind of trainer, man. He's more he's a protect your neck first kind of trainer. Soccer Training Club, salute family. Nah, man, Cotto versus Marquez is better than Ruiz versus Adenipple. Yeah. Ariola is like fighting mincemeat, bro. It's just a punching bag fight, and it is. And I just feel like, do people want to see? I don't know if this might sound too harsh for me saying this shit, but do people want to see motherfucking Chris Ariola in a vegetative state? Are y'all trying? Do you want him on the level of somebody who, you know, man, we overly appreciate, but we can't, you know, doesn't have any cognitive expression right now, with somebody we love, like, you know, Gerald McClellan? Do y'all want him like that? Because you do realize when he fought Adam Kalinowski, they threw over fucking 2,000 punches in that last fight. And now you're going to put him in the ring with a fast hand young Andy Ruiz and stuff like that and act like he's going to be able to compose himself in that match. Nah, man, y'all trying to fuck this dude up neurologically, and I'm not with that shit, bro. It's like even Teddy Atlas said it, bro. Like, yo, I think Teddy Atlas and Joe Goosen said it, bro. I just wish he would hang him up. Blood got to death. Ain't no pussy in his blood. But it's like, bro, you're not going to do anything but decrease the quality of life you're going to have with your family, dog. And I don't want that for you. For real. But if you feel like you can go and do otherwise, who am I to try to stop you? Who am I to try to plight you? You know what I mean? Like, handle your business then, man. But I won't be tuning in. I won't. They don't want Andy Ruiz Jr. to have another loss before his Joshua trilogy. You know how they do with the PBC. But guess what? I hope Anthony Joshua don't even give him that trilogy fight. I'm going to be honest. Ask me why. I'll tell you. PBC came in the game like, boom. Now they more like, shh. Facts. They can't push Wilder anymore, so now to be Ruiz. Facts. You know how these African Americans, you know what I'm saying, some of these ignorant African Americans feel about, you know what I'm saying, the Latino diaspora or whatever. They just going to try to, they're going to try to, you know, they're going to try to use that shit and put that shit in Texas, Nevada, Arizona, California, and stuff like that to try to hopefully boost sales, and they're going to put that shit on, you know what I mean, like Cinco de Mayo and shit like that to try to boost sales and shit like that and try to finesse the Mexican community. But nah, I'm here telling you as a black man, don't fall for the bullshit, man. PBC is an entity that truly operates in black and white, and they try to take advantage of what your disdains are in black and white. That's why they always match up Mexican fighters against black fighters, man. Because they want you to take your genuine country pride and put it in disdain for however they gonna pitch that motherfucking press conference and however they gonna promote that shit. I just ain't for it. Because they trying to take advantage of the people's pockets. Dedicated boxing fans who come out in droves, so they try to shovel you shit because they're like, well, fuck it, they're gonna pay for it anyway. We can't afford to give them anything else. I guarantee it was a fucking, look, I guarantee just to pay Andy Ruiz Jr. They had to put that shit on pay-per-view because they could not pay him. They couldn't pay him an inkling of what he made in Andrew Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua 1. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, yo. I'm curious to know how everybody felt about Shannon Courtney and Vlasov's fight. Man, Shannon Courtney definitely pulled it out. I felt like the fight was a split decision. Shannon Courtney, I felt like it could have went a draw. But Shannon Courtney definitely in the later round, she pulled it out with the Chris combination and punching. I think that Ebony Bridges, you know, she definitely went out there. She was hella tough. She did all of the things she was supposed to do right, but I think it just came down to, you know, she got a lot of breast. She got a lot of breasts. She's 34, you know what I mean? She's a stacked girl. So, you know, I think the fatigue set in and the lack of experience, you know what I'm saying, definitely hurt her. And the fact that her eyes closed up, she couldn't see, she couldn't defend well enough. But it was an amazing fight. They fought on the level of dudes, and I think that's a fight that should happen again. Congrats to Shannon Courtney for winning a title. We got to think, Ebony Bridges ain't even had no real fights, and she went out there and she performed. So that definitely, it raised her stock for me. And as far as the Vlasov fight, they gave it to the right person. He wilted and they tried to buy him time. They didn't even put this bitch ass nigga in a neutral corner. They put him over there where his coaches so he could take instructions and shit like that. These motherfuckers, they know the rules. They even had the audacity to whip the goddamn stool out for him. Are you kidding me? I repeat, the coaches know the rules. He was already wilting, and you could see in his body language, this fool was ready to drop. They took advantage of the one behind the head shot. It's really more behind the ear for real. A little bit behind the ear, kind of cracked the ear. Then when he hit him the second time, this nigga was already ready to wilt. Any shot he would have got caught here, he was going to go down whatever hit him next. The coaches know the rules. They pulled out a stool. The ref didn't even put him in the neutral corner. Letting this nigga take instructions for his coach and everything. He got the shit beat out of him for the rest of the time. He was scared after that because he knew Vlasov was a guy that you literally got to break. And it literally took a guy like Joe Smith and his momentum to break him. But he broke him in that 11th, and they tried to stall him out. They tried to stall him out for Debo. And I ain't appreciate that shit. And Joe Smith Jr., yes! Salute, fam. Salute, Nick Harmer. What it do? Said big up Mr. Two Hands in the whole chat. I'm just going out, so I have to join the playback gang as per usual. Smash the like button, support the channel. Fah Fah. Appreciate that, brody. Someone need to say areola from himself. That's a fact. That's a fact. And honestly, you know, it's the coach's job to, you know what I'm saying, to care more about the, you know, the fighters' well-being. And if, you know, they're not even caring about it, bro, that's a serious problem. Because I can't look at anybody who's a hardcore boxing fan. If you could look me in the straight face and say, yo, I'm looking forward to a outer nipple versus a Andrew Ruiz fight, you should be slapped. Why I say what, Two Hands? Why you say that, Two Hands? What about the Andrew Ruiz? What about the Andrew Ruiz, Anthony Joshua third fight? Is that what you referring to, Gerald? I got a good one for you to see. I know I got over 500K without grades. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm valued at like 2.5 million. I value my car collection at about 2.5 million on my own, and that's without grades. I'm just sending 10 off this week just to get graded, and I believe it's gonna come back over one of the cars that I'm sending out to be graded is one of the most valuable Kobe Bryant cards, the number 2 most valuable Kobe Bryant card in the world, and it just sold for 81K at an auction a month ago. And I'm sending 10 cards out, and 10 of these cards are the most valuable cards in the world, and they're all rookie chrome refractors. So I should come back with a grade estimation of at least 125K or better off 10 cards. Now, I know why they had the fire department around Areola. They might have to get his big ass out the ring after Ruiz beat the brakes off of him. Yeah, he gonna smoke this nigga boots, man. He gonna smoke his boots. For real. Yo, ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. He getting his boots smoked, dog. Like, smoking his boots. Social joints. Fah Fah, what it do? Man, back in the building. Yeah, man. I was outside on the porch and shit. My tablet, like I got this like Lenovo Zen 10 like 4K tablet. I really like, cause it's got the stand and shit where I can set it up and talk better and shit like that. So I like using that. But the Wi-Fi isn't as strong when I'm on the porch. Like my Wi-Fi is probably like way on the back side of my house. And if anybody like seen me when I just walked around the shit, you can see just how big my fucking porch is alone. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking far away from the Wi-Fi, so that shit just crapped out on me. My bad. Any fight that Spence has at welterweight that isn't Crawford is an insult to the fans, just like Ruiz versus Ravioli. That's the fight we all want. And we're not willing to settle for any less. And I think the only reason we're willing to, you know what I'm saying, to settle for Eugenius Ugas is because Ugas is a great fighter. And he's a champion right now. So it's a unification. But it isn't a substitute for the unification that we all want. And it isn't a substitute for me. Because if people want me to show Errol Spence the type of love that they feel as though Errol Spence needs to receive, he needs to get in the ring with a Terrence Crawford, or I'm never going to be able to properly grade this guy 147. Because he's not a 147-pound fighter. He's truly a 154-pound fighter or better. He's zapping his power and everything, trying to kill himself just to make 147. Like the dude is putting himself through it to make 147 pounds. He would be smart to stay close to that mark every time it comes to cutting weight. He's hurting himself, dog. Yeah, I was told a boxer should be built like a boxer. And them titties was only helping me. Look, I'm not gonna stunt. There's been like at least like 2 or 3 times I done said some slick shit. Some slick shit to Ebony Bridges online. And shit done caught her face hella red. Like, yo, I ain't even gonna say, like, nigga, I would stab. And don't get it twisted. I ain't got no, I'm not no top echelon boxer, got no top echelon boxer bread, but I ain't got no scrub type money neither, you feel me? So I think realistically, I could probably, if nigga we was in the same place, I pull up, think a nigga could possibly shoot his shot. Shit, nigga, I'm living good too, fuck. I ain't no regular nigga. I agree, he doesn't deserve a trillion, Mr. Two Hands Up. Made too many coward excuses after the rematch. Guy added weight to be able to knock AJ out, but when the plan didn't work, the excuses came more. And see, that's my thing, right? After he got that belt, he turned into a completely different individual, yo. After he got that belt, he turned into a completely different dude. And I'm going to tell you why. All of a sudden, you know, you're not protected in Saudi Arabia and all of this other stuff. You don't want to honor the contract, but it was good enough for you to get in the ring to try to, you know what I'm saying, obtain your goals. They never even had to use you, bro. They took you because you was the best opposition and nobody knew who you were. They credited you as just the fat guy, the fat kid from the movie Up, bro. Like, nobody took you serious. I did, but a lot of the world didn't. Then you got the fucking belt. You acted like an ass, and I knew what that was because you know you didn't win that match. That first match, you won it. Yes, you won it, but you know you didn't come through that first match based off of just skill and technique. You came through that first match because his equilibrium got knocked off. Period. He couldn't get right. I could see it, but all of the haters didn't want to acknowledge the fact that Josh was in the driver's seat up until that match, till that shit happened. And even when he was under duress and all of that, he still was trying to find time and spots around like from the fifth to the sixth round. He still was trying to find his way back. Got his bearings a little bit, then got clipped on that equilibrium again. So you didn't want to have that match again. You tried to take the belts and hold them hostage. Then you got over there, you got fat, you got out of shape, you got your butt whooped. Then you try to blame it on your lack of training and all of the money. Bro, you're a professional. That shit don't work for me. It don't. I'm sorry. You should have been appreciative of the opportunity and you should have seized the moment. You let your fans down. Don't use it as, oh man, I got a hold of some bread. Now I'm losing my mind. That's not going to work for me, bruh. You're a professional. And if you would have just lost your mind off of the money, then you wouldn't have said anything about all of the antics in between that. You disrespected Manny Robles. He got you there. You disrespected your father. He got you there. So I'm supposed to have some sympathy for what? For a dude that I watched get outclassed for 12 rounds, who was stuck in the mud, who didn't think Anthony Joshua had the ability to do what? Box beautifully off the back foot. And guess what he did? He came out there and he boxed your ass beautiful off the back foot. And you think what? What, my nigga, what? I'm supposed to be appreciative of that? Why? I don't care about him getting the third match with Anthony Joshua. That's what he's waiting on. He hoping to sit around till Anthony Joshua cut another piece of bacon off his back. That ain't gonna work for me. I don't care to see it a third time. Because the third time, the same shit gonna happen the second time. That's why I don't care about the fight. Snatching mics and shit. Who's ready for the third fight? Like, bro, what do you mean? Why didn't you take advantage of the second fight? And now I'm supposed to be like, what? Man, fuck that. I can kiss my ass, man. Need to get some booster boxes, 2 hands. To this day, Wi-Fi boosters. Man, a lot of them shits don't even work for real. I got a Nighthawk. What I'm about to do is I'm about to buy another Nighthawk, put that joint downstairs in my base, and I'm going to piggyback both of them joints off for one another. That's how I'm going to solve that issue. That's how I'm going to boost that issue. Ebony was doing way too much. I hope her tongue is gone, but not her boobs. Oh my God, man. Look, man. Y'all know Ebony be coming in to every way and wearing lace and all type of shit like that, bruh. I ain't gonna hold it against Shorty, man. I'm not gonna hold it against Shorty. Everybody knows she move with the lace like that, like coming out. She's one of the fighters who take advantage of having a body. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And at least she willing to scrap with it. I'm just like, damn, she came out that joint with the black lace with the see-through, yeah, though. With them see-through, yes. That's what, like, I was like, you can't expect me to act like a man if you gonna display some shit that's gonna bring out a man's animal ambitions. Cruising in Compton, listening to Dos Manos, man. Shout out to the whole West, man. She like Dolly Parton. Super big knockers on the front, though. Super big knockers on the front. We need to get together and go over some cards, and I'll show you some of my collection. I got some rare rookies, rare memorabilia cards, and some season 70 stuff. Yeah, definitely, dog. Yeah, we can get with each other. Yeah, because I might have some shit to complete some of your collection. You might have some shit to complete a couple of mine. Because I damn near got like everything is all full collections, like a majority of my shit. Like, bro, I bought 1,000 sleeves yesterday. No, I bought 1,000 sleeves last week. I started with one box. Nigga only got a quarter way through the box. All the sleeves gone already. And I was just sitting there calculating some of the shit I was going on. I said, oh my God. I was like, nigga, I'm really sitting on some money right here. But the thing is, that's why I'm just like, I'm not going, because you know the value goes up, some goes down, and it'll depreciate and appreciate. Right now, all of my Lakers shit, all of my Kobe shit, that shit is through the roof. So I'm about to cash out on all of that shit and keep a bunch of the duplicates. I even got some of the top 5 Kobe cards in duplicates. So yeah, I'm really about to cash out on this shit. Anthony Joshua might even knock him out in the third, but like you said, he don't deserve it. He just don't deserve it for me, man. He don't deserve it. The way he acted up to the match and after the match, and then the way Anthony Joshua handled him in that match and stuff like that, I'm like, Joshua just knock him out in the third fight for real. Who cares to see it? I don't. You know, and people might have their own opinion towards that. 2 hands, you just like Anthony Joshua, and that's the only person he ever lost to. Why'd he lose?